Well, Danny, we need one more question
now
from
I'm
you.
Curious.
You've had like 3 really good questions.
You want
about
another
this beer.
question?
Yeah, I'm enjoying your questions because I'm getting answers.
It's just like it's just unusual to taste these kind of beers, and I'm curious because I've had other sour beers, and I'm interested in trying the other beers. If obviously we're going to be trying them all, but it's just like, what's the latitude of flavors if they're all sour? I mean, is there, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the different flavors are, because I've only had like a sour beer at one time. I've never had like multiple sour beers and gotten to like
different ones
test.
at the same setting.
Yeah, so,
really, nobody gets any chocolate off of this?
I'm not getting.
I'm the only person.
Yeah.
What kind of chocolate?
Right.
Milk
I don't
chocolate
know if
or
No, very dark
speaking
chocolate.
for
very
myself.
dark chocolate?
But that's a good question, Danny. If you have, what you're saying is you got those
well, maybe in the bitterness.
green sour apple candies. How many
Sweet and
different
sours.
flavors of those can you do?
Yeah.
How much can you change it up? So what can they do to a sour beer to make you want one sour beer over the other?
This is almost like Smarties, the sweet and sours, and
Yeah.
Oh my God! Please take that back. Smarties is not a flavor profile.
no.
my
I'm
God.
not even suggesting that. I'm just saying, it's like
I just threw an imaginary shoe at Danny.
yes, ow,
Very Khrushchev-like.
Ow.
I just banged my shoe
Just
on the
banged
UN
his shoe
table.
on my
Yeah, there
computer.
is Khrushchev.
Yeah.
Thank you, Khrushchev.
No
Thank you,
chocolate.
Marshall Zukov.
No chocolate,
Yes.
though.
Really?
No
No,
chocolate.
chocolate?
No. I'm picking
Maybe. Well,
Maybe
the
I'm mixing
oily,
that
the
up.
oiliness of chocolate. That the chocolate has like a little. I so then I've been thinking about it. I can get that completely. Where
And I'm not talking about
Yeah.
like Hershey's chocolate. I'm talking about like actually like
like a deep
70% or higher
cacao. Yeah.
and certainly like bittersweet.
It's a higher note than just the basic fruit
Yeah.
that you get. It's something
And
that
even like
you can notice later.
so that I'm also confusing the oak for vanilla because of I think I have
Well, vanilla I could see.
the vanilla is like
particularly on the exhale. is
okay.
where
All
I
right.
get the
All right.
vanilla.
So I'm not totally crazy. All right.
No, the vanilla I'm with you on.
No.
I just don't taste the chocolate.
Okay.
It's very complex beers.
Honestly, like this is a very dynamic profile for beers, and it's not common yet. Still, although still on the trendy side of things. Although I do believe it will no longer become a trend, and will actually become something that is a staple in the stable of the beers that we offer here in the United States.
Honestly, I hadn't heard about sour beers until I would say March. I had no idea what a sour beer was until March, and somebody offered me a sip of a sour beer in Panama City.
Is that in Panama?
Sorry,
Is that in Panama?
There is
Panama
City. in
No,
Panama.
it's up in Florida.
So I actually, the first Panama City I ever went to was actually in Panama, and I was like, oh, cool.
Panama.
And then a buddy of mine was like, oh, yeah, I'm from Panama City. And I was like, huh, weird.
That's a little
And
different.
then I discovered later on that he was from Panama City, Florida.
which is
Right.
part of the Redneck Riviera.
Yeah, Redneck Riviera.
It's up on the way to
on
on
the
the way to
Panhandle.
Alabama.
It's on the panhandle.
Alabama?
Yes, it is. Abilama.
That's where my mom's from.
No
Or,
kidding.
no, that's not where my mom's from. She lives in Alabama right now.
Abilama.
I was going to say, she must have had a tough time raising you in Connecticut if she's from Alabama.
Yeah, no, she's actually from Connecticut,
Okay.
but
We could call it
she
Bammy.
now lives in Alabama.
And she probably gets a hard time down there.
Bammy.
Yankee, what kind of accent you got there?
Well, no, they really like her because she's very novel there.
Oh,
They're
cool.
like, she's like, people are like, oh, you Yankee? And she goes, yes. And they're like, well,
She's kind of
we
cool.
don't. They don't have any place to go from there because they're like, what are you, a Yankee? And she's like, absolutely. And they're like, all right, well,
Have a
okay.
have a nice day.
And we need Mark.
Would you like a beer?
We need Mark's attorney on retainer here again because you mentioned Redneck Riviera.
Oh, yes,
Because
Yeah.
that's
So they call it that.
well,
Rednecks call it
they
well,
do.
That's not a new term.
actually, Actually, they don't want it called that, and they have sued. Which country singer? I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, really?
Because he had a song.
Don't mention his name right now. Because
He
we're
had
gonna
a
have to
song
go
Because then
under
we'll get sued.
named
the lawyer on
Redneck
it.
Riviera,
like
and
a return
Panama
suing.
City sued him
Oh, really?
for naming that area. And everybody knows it anyway, and he sang a song about it, and now they're mad. So,
Dave Senior, I'm going to pass this bottle to you. I want you to dump the rest of it in your
but
glass.
anyway, that is. I agree with you, but
No,
it
you
is
go ahead.
it
Take
is
the
in the
rest.
middle of a lawsuit. Actually, not in the middle of. He lost.
He lost?
He had to
Panama
pull-
City won?
Yeah, he had to pull the song.
Wow,
Really?
that's really funny.
We'll,
very
we'll,
odd.
we'll look that up and bring that
That's
back on
interesting.
part 2.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to.
So, going forward, we talked about cheeses, but I want to talk about meats.
Meats.
I want to talk about breakfast, actually.
Breakfast beer.
So, I know it seems a little cliche to say that I want waffles with this, but I want waffles with this.
I got 2 waffles with this.
And I want not only waffles, but I want my maple walnut syrup with it. But I also want some fried chicken.
I knew you'd go in there. I knew you would go in there.
Have you ever had chicken and waffles?
Fried chicken and waffles? Yeah.
Chicken
from
and
Yeah.
Holland's.
No, like you have a waffle and you put the chicken on top and some gravy.
No.
I don't know about
That's
Put
a-
maple syrup on it.
No,
Harlem?
not from where I'm from.
Okay. Where you're from
This is
is a
southern.
perversion.
This is southern chicken and waffles.
No,
Is-
no.
is
Fried
it-
chicken and waffles is actually originated in Harlem.
Actually, well, this isn't fried chicken. I'm thinking more like it's almost like you're making a pot pie with gravy, and you pour that over the waffle and eat it. And it might be a Pennsylvania Dutch thing. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, you guys also
They
eat
put,
that
they
scrapple,
put
so.
gravy on everything.
Yeah,
and-
well, and then the scrapple, you put the syrup on the scrapple.
Ugh, gross. Blech.
Yeah, the syrup on the
You
scrapple.
know, I used to do to moderately well with Scrapple, but it's some of those words I just couldn't spell.
Oh.
Huzzah!
Yes.
Huzzah!
No, 64 points for you. Sorry, sir, that is only a 32-point word. Scrapple.
And we're still drinking the one thing I didn't mention.
What?
I started to, but then I got off track.
Damn.
I think Mark interrupted me with something, but it doesn't matter.
But
I'd
I
like to read
digress.
the government warning.
This-
No, go on.
This beer is actually brewed for a pub in Pennsylvania.
Really?
Yeah, and what they did is they got them to brew a certain type of beer that they have in Belgium, and they brought it over here, which I was trying to pronounce before, the Bios Flamza Bourgogne. Which they're-
That sounds horrible.
they refer to the old Brun style, which we're having here, as French Burgundy, but the company had them brew it for them. They call it the Monks.
The Monk's Cafe.
Monk's Cafe. That's the name of the. Excuse me, edit that out. The name of the pub that they brew it for is called the Monk's Cafe, and that's the name of the beer that they have in the United States.
Wait, did you say that these are all Belgian beers?
Yes.
Well, here's to Belgian. Cheers,
Biol.
Oh,
Belgian.
here's to Belgium.
Belgian beer.
Belgium.
Biol.
That's the word for the day.
Bourgogne.
Belgium.
Belgium.
Bios from Bourgogne.
Yeah. Yes, Bourgogne.
We're a little relaxed on the word.
Belgian
today.
Burgundy.
Yeah, Belgian Burgundy.
I'm
Yes.
enjoying this beer.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
really-
I'm enjoying this
I
beer.
love
And
this beer.
I bet our
Yes.
listeners are going, when the heck are they going to get to the next beer?
No, I know.
Well,
Well, that's why
next
this is
year
going to be a
we'll get-
well,
two-parter.
guess what? Any minute now, because we're still drinking this one.
They're still drinking
Un
this one.
momento, por favor. There are 3 things I want to say, and I'll keep it quick.
Make it quick and make it snappy.
So, what did you say? What was the Smarties?
I said something about Smarties or
Okay, so
or
Smarties. I get Smarties. As much as I don't
it's
like
well.
Smarties.
I'm just saying it's like a sugary,
Okay, I get it.
sour, sweet and sour,
Okay.
taste.
It's a little bit of green apple.
and it's
Granny
it's sitting
Smith.
on your tongue.
Okay.
See, another
That's
thing.
what
No.
I don't know about the brewing process of this beer, but one of the things that a lot of Belgian brewers do is
He was
they
trying
use,
to say
they
something
use
about the
same,
Smarties.
Well, here, hold on. That a lot of Belgian brewers use sugar from candy in their beers, and they may use it in this one. I don't know. It's possible.
Maybe.
But it's
This
a common
actually
brewing
doesn't
technique.
strike me as one of the ones that they do that with. This seems like a wild yeast kind of beer, and because
Wild.
I get so much fruit off of it, like say for instance, the sour apple, the
Yes.
peach.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's a wild yeast collection. And again, the second thing I want to say about it is that, the color is like very, really strange to me because it's like brown red.
Yeah.
Which
It's like
burgundy.
a dark rust.
It's burgundy. That's interesting unto itself. It tastes much lighter than it looks. This looks like a very hearty beer, but it has no legs. It washes clean off the glass. A little bit of head on it. A little bit of champagne bubbles.
Yeah.
And the third thing I want to say about this beer is that it's fantastic. It's really good, and I would drink this all day, and I could because it's
5.5%.
5.5.
5.5.
5.5.
Yeah.
So maybe I couldn't drink it all day. I'd have to eat something.
Perhaps most of the afternoon.
Most of the
Well,
afternoon.
another thing about this beer is that it's the body of it. It's I wouldn't call it light, but it's not a filling beer.
No.
You could put away a whole bunch of these things and not feel bloated.
Yeah, I mean, because the effervescence are so low. I mean, because it is a natural ferment beer. It's not like a...
Well, one from Chris. We never had one from Chris before.
Ding! Chris goes.
That's all the carbonation that's in
That was
beer.
that was pretty outstanding.
Thank you.
That was over the top.
Next time I'll try to say something.
Starring
Starring,
Sylvester Stallone.
yeah, in his first movie.
Over the Top was not Sylvester
I'm just
Stallone's
kidding.
first movie.
I'm just kidding.
Danny Hoy, you're fired from movie naming.
No, I was no. What I don't know what Sly Stallone's first movie was, but apparently it was pornography.
Danny Hoy with the pornography.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm just. I read up about Sly Stallone. It's you
Specifically
gotta
for
start
this beer show?
somewhere. No.
Okay.
Actually, one of the things I did read about sour beers, they call them sour or wild beers, and I guess that goes back to the wild yeast. Wild.
Yes.
Wild, wonderful sour beers.
So wild is actually, like, again, with so we recently, I guess not that recently, we did the Anderson Valley Goza.
It's like half a time ago.
It was half a time ago.
It's like
7 years ago.
a few shows ago.
And they harvested wild yeast for that, and that was really cool because it had a really dynamic flavor, beer to beer, can to can.
Yeah.
Keg to keg.
That's because it's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's part of the beauty
because
of it.
the beauty of it is that the wild yeast is always very different.
Yeah,
I mean, even
from
if
one
it's the
batch to the
same
next,
strain,
absolutely, yeah.
Like you get a little bit more pollen in there, and the yeast develops differently. And we also have another beer on here at the Cork and Stogie, which is the 1845.
The 1845.
Which is every time we get it, it tastes like
Fuller's.
By Fuller's. It tastes like a totally different beer, and that's because of the yeast profiles. So,
By the way, in the future, we're going to have
In the future.
4 different
not
special
Back to the
beers.
Future.
Not back to the
No,
future.
we have four different Fullers that we're going to be doing, perhaps next week. They won't be the whole show, but there's 4 different. They have the very special beer that they put out every year, and we have 4 of them from 2010, 2011, 2000. There's one that's missing.
Yeah.
2000, but we have 4 different beers. There's one of them. I think it's 2010 might be missing,
Semi-annual.
but
I would-
2009.
I would
Semi-annual
actually
beer.
like to propose a speed show.
A speed show.
Beg your pardon? Like, is that like speed dating?
Yeah, basically.
Or like
Okay.
Speed
or like
racer?
speed. It would be like more like a speed chess.
Exciting.
So I'm like, we have a timer. You have like 3 minutes to tell you everything you want to say about the beer, and then you hit the timer. The next person goes. You have 3 minutes. Next person goes.
I like
next
this
person goes.
idea.
And like, it would be a fun little
like
side
chess.
show kind of thing.
Yeah, I like that idea.
That would be fun.
That would
That
be
sounds
fun.
interesting.
Because
And then
we need
might
to
have
think
do
of
with it-
stuff like that.
We might have
Ding.
Dave Senior.
Ding. Dave Senior chimes in.
Great idea, Mark, but your time's up.
On that note,
Thanks for listening to Key West Beer Tales, the sum of all beers. You can follow us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter at the KWBT. And we're also on Instagram, tumbler, and